Here you can see the package called React Native Serial Port. You can use this package to communicate with devices via Serial on Android. I will use this package to communicate with Arduino via Serial, but instead of using the React Native Serial Port package as it is, I will create a context to make it more modular. In my case, I will create a folder called Context in the source root, and then I will create another folder called Serial inside it. Next, I usually organize a few things. We also organize things like constants separately. We refer to constants as constants, and then create an index.ts file so that any constants related to settings can be organized here directly, allowing for changes to be applied when the settings are modified. Export const mode 9600, export const interface 1. After setting this up, the first thing I usually do is organize the type-related settings. After that, I handle X, text, and then focus on React and React Node. I'm setting up the interface related to pull-up. In TypeScript, you can use types, which are a way to define the shape of an object or function. Types are useful for ensuring that your code is consistent and error-free. I will organize it now to make sure everything is in order. The export type for the sphere event type is on read data, which means it handles data that is being read from a source. I will add more later if needed for writing, but for now, it's something like this. In TypeScript, you will see cases where types are used and cases where interfaces are used. Interfaces are similar to types, but are often used for defining the structure of objects. So, for objects, you can just consider using interfaces. It's important to organize your code well to make it easier to read and maintain. By using types and interfaces appropriately, you can create a more robust and reliable code base. And for enums and such, you typically use types, but there are cases when you might need to slightly customize the types provided by a rival library made with TypeScript. In those cases, interfaces may not work. Aside from those specific instances, you can generally use interfaces for most objects, and for enums, you should use types. You can essentially export the interface serial event type, where the type is, in essence, the serial event type. Then, as for the payload, what about it? Since it might be included, the next step is to type the callback related to it. This involves writing export type serial event callback, which is crucial for defining the types of events our serial communication will handle. Additionally, we need to define export interface serial manager for subscribe callback serial callback. This interface is vital for managing how our application subscribes to various serial events. Ensuring callbacks are handled efficiently, including the subscription process, is essential, allowing our application to listen and respond to serial events as they occur. However, to fully implement this functionality, we must add one more package to our project. This package provides the necessary tools and libraries to support the subscription mechanism and manage serial communications effectively. By incorporating this package, we ensure our application can handle serial events robustly and maintain high performance. Now, if you add yarn and input RxJs like this, you will, for instance, come across an error again, such as I was saying, as I mentioned last time, this is RxJS. It has definitely been added. We will certainly utilize the RxJS package to send events to the screen whenever serial-related data comes in. while performing serial-related actions.
ArcGIS is a library. This The types have been organized in a structured and systematic way, ensuring that each type is clearly defined and categorized. This organization is crucial for the next steps, as it allows us to efficiently input the actual code into the system. Since it ultimately needs to go into a DOM structure, please create an index.txt file that will serve as a reference point for the code integration process. This file is essential for maintaining the integrity of the code as it interacts with the DOM. The first thing we need to do is create a context related to react.context, which is a fundamental aspect of our project. This context will provide the necessary framework for our application to function correctly. We will be using host serial.act.create.text, a method that facilitates the creation of text elements within the application. This method is particularly useful given that the types are organized, allowing for seamless integration. The serial manager context will have the serial manager property, which is a key component of our system. This property ensures that all serial-related data is managed efficiently and effectively. But originally, there is a subscribe, right? This subscription mechanism is an integral part of our architecture, allowing for real-time updates and interactions within the system. In this scenario, we are setting up our system, which involves initializing it. During this phase, we can create a mock subscription by predefining the context. This ensures the system behaves as expected initially. Next, we export the context serial provider, which handles various properties, or props. These props dictate how the provider functions and interacts with the system. Let's organize the props efficiently to enhance system performance.
Props.
Pubs, shutdown, then return provider, unsubscribe from the serial context, provider value, keep. It open for now, and then children. This sets up the serial provider, supporting const use serial manager use context, and then serial. Currently, in order to ensure that the process is properly managed and efficiently executed without any issues or interruptions, first of all, I have already set up the basic framework needed for the context. Next, we will add the React native serial ports related to our serial communication. This time, we have developed the main body of the serial context. In the next session, I will add the React native serial port codes to implement the serial communication features that we haven't implemented yet. Then I will see you next time.